Let's try this. Where's that little thing? Right there? Yeah, right there. Kind of funny. New haircuts. What are you going to do? New haircut. Who dis? And where's my chapstick? Where's my chapstick? Here's my big chapstick. Hello, hello, G Mead. Hi. Hi. I believe you can see me and hear me, so I hope all is well. You know what? I got to brighten up the contrast here. There we go. There we go. So, good evening. Good evening. Getting ourselves. Oh, you know what's so funny, Gina? It's just you and me. This is crazy. I'm like, where's my chapstick? Where's my chapstick? It was literally right here, but I was looking, I didn't see it all. So sometimes things are in plain sight and you can't see it. So just real quick, Gina, if you can see and hear me, could you put something in the chat that you can see and hear me? There we go. Sometimes these things are wonky. So I just thought I would ask. So here I am, possibly talking to myself, but that would not be the first time. There we go. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I just, as I said, it would not be unusual. It's not unusual for me to talk to myself. Ba ba da ba da. Yeah. So there we go. We've got late night. I feel like I could be in my pajamas, but you know what's so cool? It is not dark out. And for the first time in like forever, it is nice and warm and pleasant out. My husband and I just had a late dinner. We're kind of European that way. A whopping whatever. There we go, Heather MC. Yay. Yay. How lovely to hear from you from out of the blue. You and Debbie Gibson, right? Out of the blue. And also ELO. But so nice to hear from you. And I'm so glad I could let you know that we had the late night here going on. So wonderful, wonderful stuff. Here we are kind of wrapping up the day. Funny thing is, I have a bunch of notes from what I got done today. Some things I got done, some things I didn't, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling 7 up about what I got done. I will share, I have a fun story, and since it's just a small crew here, I'm excited to share this. How do I even? So my birthday is in the summer, and I had some time blocked out for us to go on a trip. And my birthday was one of the motivators. And then I was like, oh, you know what would be really cool is I had picked out this postcard because I belong to the National Trust, the National Trust for Historic Preservation. And this has been up on my kind of inspo board or just in front of my face. And I'm like, you know what? I want to go on a trip to here. This is the Edith Farnsworth House in, I think, Plano, Illinois, maybe. And I said, oh, we could go to Chicago for my birthday, go do a mid-century modern house tour, which I'm all about. And then the thing that was like the cherry on the top was that there was going to be, I don't know if you've heard of this guy. His name is Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. And he's playing in Chicago he was playing in Chicago on August 9th. And I was like, oh, that's great. Well, I didn't leap on the tickets quick enough. And there were very few left. And then literally today, when I said I need to just book those hotels. I want to get those settled. I'm tired of saying I'm going to do it or just having that kind of loop open in my head. Like I need to book my hotels for the trip. Lo and behold, I said, you know what? I'll just see if there's any more Herb Albert tickets left. Well, there weren't any for the 9th. Wah wah. But he added a second day. He added Sunday, August 10th. Now, most of the orchestra was sold out, but we got very good tickets and I leapt on it. I said to my husband, he was out riding his bike. And I was like, as soon as he came home, I'm like, okay, now we have experience with being able to change things. Yeah, we saw him maybe 13, 14 years ago, but he's 90 years old and he's doing the whole Whipped Cream and Other Delights, which is an iconic album. It should be in the Smithsonian if it isn't already. And it was just one of these things where I said, you know, it can't hurt to look for what I want. And here's the crazy thing. I literally have never had to rebook a flight before. Things have always just kind of been good. But when we were going to Ireland just a few weeks ago, it was literally like last week, maybe the week before. We had to because the guy whose band it was screwed up and we all had to rebook our flights. So I said, "Well, I know it's possible with a certain level of ticket that you can just rebook it." I was able to rebook so we could stay over that Sunday. I got good tickets. We got a refund because we were flying on a different, day. Such a fun thing. I am so excited. And then I was eagerly like booking hotels and booking one near where we're going to all that. So while I was supposed to maybe do something else, I know there was probably something a little bit more mundane, but not time sensitive. But man, when my energy was psyched about this, I was making it happen. I was sticking through the decisions of what location, like what neighborhood do we stay in, what do I use, check, cash or points. Oh, that's right, I can use points, so cancel the one that I paid, I reserved, all that. It was so much more fun to go through even this arduous process of booking hotels. It became even more fun because we had that destination of, we are actually going to go see Herb Alpert, and it's going to be right around that time. So I'm just so excited. Yeah. So good stuff. And the sun was still out today. And there is um, definitely 100% progress being made down the basement. They finally put down the important kind of uh, decorative um, layer. So we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and it feels so good. Did you do good stuff today? What's some good stuff that you did? Why don't you put it in the chat? I hope you've written it down for yourself. Um, there we go. I love it. All right. So Kara has showed up. Kara has showed up. She said it was probably 80 today. I heard it was wicked nice up in Mass because it was about 86 here. Man, but I made it. Just posted my update on TikTok. I would love it if you could give this small but mighty an awesome crew a heads up, because earlier this morning you said, "Oh, I'm gonna like post some things and sell some things." I would love to hear just a quick recap. Awesome. Hey, there we go. Heather MC also got some really good important stuff done. Had a new stove delivered today after so much prep work and kitchen renovation, and it felt great. Awesome, my friend. Awesome. Yeah. And that's a big piece in the thing, Um, I love it. Lori says she crocheted for a new grandbaby. Awesome. Cold in SFO in San Francisco, but 95 in Sacramento. Yeah. Oh, and thank you, Melissa. Melissa with one S. Yes. One of the things I also did today that I do believe I wrote down in my book of good stuff was, yes, 8:30 in the morning, got a haircut. Yeah. And boy, was I overdue. I was overdue because I missed a few haircut appointments because of travel. Um, and I love it. Lori is also decluttering for the baby. Yeah. Whew. Melissa, put your feet up, take your shoes off, put your feet up, drink some water. I brought my water in with me so I can hydrate along with you. Worked my 3 double today, exhausted and rightly so. So give yourself a rest. Good stuff. Good stuff. The water. I could probably even, you know what? This is cool. I'm using my habit tracker. I hope you are too. You guys, it's only Wednesday, June 4th. You can totally just start it on the 4th right here if you didn't start at the beginning of the month. Print it out. It's the what do you call it? The secret page. So do that. I try to mark my what I've done, and water, encouraging me to drink more water. So while I did not take a walk number 2, I could seriously, after this, I could even just say to my husband, "You want to go walk around the park?" I could still have time for doing that. If I finish the amount of water that's in here, I I could fill in water number 2. And I added something that's just very silly but kind of fun. So I will share it with you. Mixing it up, mixing it up to just kind of improve some things. I saw something on TikTok, as many of us do, about practicing standing on one foot, core muscles and balance. And I take yoga, but the way I'm pretty sure that the way my skeleton is arranged, that it is even more difficult than usual for me to kind of have that balance. My hips, there was a weird thing with my hips when I was a little kid. So therefore, I want to work on those things before I get any older. And so what I thought was, because I saw this person doing it, she was brushing her teeth and standing on one foot. And I thought this might be fun. I could experiment with that. So I added that to my teeth brushed and face wiped, and then I put one foot. So it could be fun. It could be interesting. It could be challenging. I'm curious about it, so I'm going to give it a shot. As I like to say, why the hell not? Just, experiment, play. I was thinking about that today when when I offer to you to just play with the tools I give you, experiment, play, have fun, test things out, put them through their paces. And one of my clients is working on my one-on-one paying clients. In her job, she is working on a software implementation and release, and they literally use the phrase the sandbox. So putting it in the sandbox, the beta test before it goes live, so you can literally play with it to see what works and what doesn't. So have fun, play. If you didn't do anything fun and playful today, it's not midnight yet. You can still fit something in. Um, So I'm feeling good about what I did. I know it has something to do with getting a good night's sleep last night. I know it has something to do with the weather finally being warm and seeing the basement floor. So maybe it's just the stars aligning. Maybe it's just the stars aligning in a determined getting stuff done kind of day. So Kara has updated us. So Kara is saying today she moved bricks. She started Breeze Block Project. She planted 25 dahlias, 4 planters, placed straight annuals, put trash in my car for the dump, gave a box of vintage away, and made $20 in the driveway and watered plants. I love it. You hell's a poppin', right? Awesome, lady. Now remember this too, though. Tomorrow, do not be surprised if you are tired. Do not be surprised if tomorrow you may not have the same gumption. Isn't it funny? Once we start and get on a roll, it will be like, oh, this is great. I can kick the world's ass every day. But it's going to be like this, and it may wane. Nothing has gone wrong. Yes, tomorrow is another day. I don't care what you say. Tomorrow's gonna be another day. Hey, 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 hey. There we go. One persona. Nice to see you. Yeah. So do not be surprised if after a big day of activity, you have a day where you're feeling a little bit less than active. Maybe your arms are breaking from moving bricks. You may not even, well, I know you struggle with a whole do I even feel pain thing, but sometimes it takes a while. I know that because you guys have heard me talk in the past about going to a what do you call it? A strength training class, and you kind of don't feel so bad doing it, and then you walk home and you're like, "Oh, this is not bad." And then sometimes 24, 48 hours, I'm like, "I can't move." So I've learned to ease that. I love Kara. I love that you have already made a plan tomorrow that is a little bit more in line with that idea of not moving your body so much, even if the weather's nice. She's going to list and photograph. She's going to photograph and list. So, what a great thing because she's photographing things she does not want anymore. She is listing them for sale on places, and she is charged up about making money off of the stuff she no longer wants. She's putting that money towards a trip. Who doesn't, talk about a fun destination, a motivator to be like, oh, the more money I make, the nicer hotel I can stay in. The more money I make, I can, do the lie flat seats. That could be a fun thing. Now, again, Kara has said, and I'll reiterate this, that she has the ability to make some of the money because the stuff that she has, she used to sell stuff. So she has things of a possible interest to other people for a certain amount of money. Not all of us can say that. Not all of us can say that. Hey, good evening, Judy Dukes. Judy Dukes, it's nice to see you. That one persona, Beth, wanted to share something my therapist shared yesterday. When we say I should be doing X or I should have done this, should brings shame. Ooh, it's got a nice ring to it. Instead, say I would like to or I'd prefer. Yes, completely. Should it implies a certain obligation to somebody else, maybe yourself. So as some people say, this is one I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know, but don't shit on yourself. Don't should on yourself. But yeah, I would like to. Yes, I would rather, or I'd prefer not to. Yeah, I'd prefer not to. So I love that. Yeah, I hope that resonates with you. And thanks for sharing. Now, Heather MC. Oh, yeah. And that one persona saying, "Psst, like the live. Like the live." There's only four other thumbs up we need because it's a small and mighty group today. Um, and Heather says, "I have a big project tiling in the kitchen. Rather than trying to slam through the whole thing, I'm content doing a little bit every day. Makes me much more careful and the results look better." Yes. And you know what the great thing is literally you're doing it tile by tile, kind of like doing a declutter, like a doing your habits. It's a little block, it's a little square by a little square, or, whatever shape you're doing. So I love that. I felt the same way about booking these hotels for my birthday because I wanted to stay in a variety of hotels. I, for decades, never stayed in hotels. And when I did, they were these little tiny mom and pop motels. Some were cute, some were sad. Many of them smelled like mold. I am in my, as I like to say, I'm in my bougie era. And so it delights me to even stay in a hotel. And when I have points, it's like, "Ooh, I can stay in a fun hotel. That one looks kind of fun. That looks kind of, you know, um, vintage or renovated and all this kind of fun stuff." Um, and I realized that I have one more day to book hotels. I've got 2 days in one and then another in another. And it was one of these things where part of me said, "I want to get this done. I want to book this hotel before dinner's ready." And then I said, "Wait a minute. Nobody says I have to do that except me. It's not like we're staying there tomorrow. It's not till August, for crying out loud. It's two plus months away." And because I wasn't finding the one that's just right, I'm going to step away, just like Heather is doing, a little bit at a time. I'm happy with what I do. I have one more tile to put in, which is the one of the August 8th to 9th. And nothing was really shouting out at me. I want to go and I want to feel good about what I do. So I'm going to, kind of leave it be and come back to it. I will have fresh eyes. Maybe things will change. Maybe I will learn something about a neighborhood I want to stay in. So there is nothing wrong with, and a lot right with, doing things a little bit at a time. Stepping away from something so you can come back at it with fresh eyes, with fresh energy, doing a better job because you stepped away from it. You didn't run away and stay away and hide like under the couch. No, you're saying, "I'm happy with what I did. Yes, I'm not done yet. However, I will come back later. And when I come back later, I will have renewed energy, renewed focus, and feeling good about those decisions." It really is. You know what? It really is starting to feel good about the decisions you make. Now, I was on the phone today with both one of my sisters and my mother, and we were talking about heavy things, deep things, light things. And it was amazing to me how much more confident I am in making decisions and feeling good about them than I used to be. And boy, oh boy, RD, I can tell how much I have changed because I listened to the words my mother was using when I was trying to help her make a decision. When I was saying, "This is the reason I think this should happen." Well, and it was a lot of maybe and perhaps and I don't know. And I'm on the fence and I was leaning towards that, but I was unsure. And just a lot of kind of whatever. When you start to make decisions and those decisions align with what you want, and those decisions result in you getting close to what you want or getting what you want, it becomes something fun to do. It becomes less scary to have those uncomfortable conversations. It becomes less scary to speak up for what you want, to speak up for what you want to happen, you know? Oh, hey you guys. Oh, let's send Carla some love. Carla's here. Carla's in the room. Give her some love. She says just jumping in and right out. She's heading to her first AA meeting. Awesome, friend. Awesome. Love you guys. She had a super hard afternoon. I'm reading what she says. "I am super nervous right now, but I am heading out the door. Love and appreciation this decluttering family." Yes, my friend. And we are there with you, walking into that room of strangers who are struggling, and you're all there to support each other. You are doing such good stuff, Carla. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you for realizing what wasn't working and doing something to change it. Taking that scary step into that room is going to be such a life changer. So, yay, Carla. That is so good. Judy, send in prayers. That one persona, send in proudness. We are with you in that room. We are sending good vibes and love. Okay? Rock on, my friend. Rock on, my friend. And yay for getting through a super hard afternoon and still going to your meeting tonight. So awesome. Mwah. You got this, lady. Some decisions can be tough. Some realizations can be eye-opening. When you realize, ooh, maybe I have a problem with something. Am I going to ignore it? Am I going to pretend it doesn't exist? Am I going to do something about it? Maybe I'm going to have to share with somebody else that I'm struggling with something. Maybe it's somebody I don't even know. Is somebody going to judge me? But how do I get from where I am to feeling better? You know? And I'm so proud. I mean, and just the fact that Carla is sharing this with us lets us know that all of us may struggle with something, and you can do something about it and have strength and take those baby steps. Make the call, tell your doctor, confide in a friend, find a trustworthy person and trust them with your words. So yeah, prayers and prouds. How's that, Judy Dukes? How's that? Yay, good stuff, my friend. Good stuff. Really. Because none of us are perfect. Many of us are struggling. You don't know until you're struggling when people say, I've been there too. I, to this day, I wish I remember the name of the woman who worked there. When my first marriage was crumbling, and I went to the bank that my husband and I had our joint checking account in, our joint accounts, and I had to close them. And there was one account that we had our money in it that my parents had given us for a wedding gift. And let me tell you, it was a pretty penny. It was very generous of them. And we had said that we were never going to touch it until we bought a house. Now, I never touched it, but let me tell you, when I went to that bank and I went to take out what I thought was a certain amount of money, and there were double digit percent, there was a substantial amount gone from it, that my ex-husband, asshole that he was, never told me he was taking money out of that account. I sat there in the bank and tears started rolling down my face. And the woman who was at the desk just put her hand on mine and she said, "You're going to be okay. You're going to get through this. I've been through this. That does suck, but you're going to be okay." She was a complete stranger. And that, to this day, that was what, 30 plus years ago, 25, I can't do the math. It made me feel so much better. When you see somebody suffering, when you see somebody struggling, my motivation is to say, what can I do? How can I help? Now, I also have training in retail, so we were told that. But what is it that you're looking for? How can I help you with what I have? How can I help you? And even if it's just a kind word, and I say just a kind word, do not underestimate the power of a kind word. So think about that and how you talk to yourself. Are you beating yourself up? Or are you talking to yourself? Are you holding your own hand and saying, "You've got this, you can do this"? Are you treating yourself kindly like you would even a stranger? I hope so. And if you're not, please practice. Please practice. If you're looking for other people to be nice to you, it would be nice if they do. But if you rely on external people for your happiness, you're putting the power that power in their hands. I say take it back. I say take it back. Keep your power to yourself. Ensure that you can, whatever happens, you can calm down your nervous system. You can tell yourself it's okay. You can remind yourself that it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to speak up for what you want. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to stumble. Just don't stay down there. You can get up. If you can't get up by yourself, ask for somebody. I've fallen and I can't get up, hit a button, right? So it really is. I get knocked down, I get back up again. We're all going through something. And Isn't it cool to realize that even if you're going through something, you can help somebody else and you can help yourself, you know? So yay, Becky sent good stuff to Carla too. Awesome. Um, so yeah, it's 8:25. It's still kind of light out, which is awesome. And here's the funny thing, time is going on. It is June 4th, June 21st or 22nd. We're having the most amount of daylight, at least where I am, until the 21st to 22nd, and then incrementally, like everything in life happens incrementally, that will shift and start to get darker and darker. Sometimes you don't even notice it until you really notice it. Much like we say with decluttering, doing a little bit at a time. You may not initially notice it, like weight loss. You may not initially notice it, but a little bit at a time adds up. A penny plus a penny plus a penny plus a penny plus a penny equals a nickel. A nickel and 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 a nickel equals a quarter. You put four of those quarters together, you got a dollar. You put 40 of them together, you could probably put them in a little paper envelope and $10 right there. Everything scales. I don't say everything is I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, oh, except for this. So many things scale. And sometimes we dismiss the small things looking for the big things when we forget that the big things are made up of a wicked lot of small things. We are all made up of cells and atoms and stuff like that there. So remind yourself, and especially when things are going tough, that the small stuff is just as important as the big stuff. You may have a big day like Carla had, I mean, excuse me, Kara had a big day today, doing this and doing that and doing the other thing, this, that, and the other thing, kicking ass. Those days are awesome, but they don't happen every single day. Embrace them when they do. Do not get me wrong. When you have a fire lit under you and you have energy and motivation and you're not tiring out, celebrate those days. Celebrate the moments of your life. But know that every day you're going to have a different amount of gas in your tank. Your gas tank right now at your car has a different amount of gas in it than it did this morning, if you drove anyway. And even if you didn't drive, I bet some of it evaporated. So every day the tank is a little bit different. It may be getting a little bit lower. Maybe you need to do something to refill it. So at this time of our day, it's almost 8:30 Eastern. Maybe your tank is a little bit on the wane, but maybe make a plan for tomorrow. Where's my thing for tomorrow? Well, this is funny. Talk about chunking it down. This is me with I'm totally being like, this is the day we're doing this. This is my trip to Chicago. It helps me to see things when I chunk it down and write it down. I don't tell it to you just because I like to hear myself talk. I actively do this. Now, I have already literally, okay, so see, this is me. I was trying to get my pen to work here. Oh, that was me booking a hotel room for my husband's wedding. I'm into the hotels. So this is today. Started off here. Here we are down the bottom. I got some good stuff done. Oh, here's a good thing that I wrote. But you know what? I got to remember this. But then, you know what? I'm going to turn the page. What can I do tomorrow? TikTok Live. We have a declutter party tomorrow morning, you guys, just so you know. I will be completely transparent. Nobody has signed up for it now. However, I will still show up because I know sometimes people get their tickets at the last minute. If you're interested, it starts at 9 a.m. Eastern and it goes to about 9, 10, 10:30-ish or so. If that works for you, feel free to sign up. You get your tickets at any time. I will be there. As long as even one person shows up, I will make it happen. Okay. There's a TikTok live, there's a live, declutter party, and then a YouTube live. And then we're getting some furniture delivered. And then the Budweiser Clydesdales are coming to my town. So I want to make sure I'm down there to see the horses. I want to see that. Then I'm going to walk myself down to Pilates. And I've got already the checklist, the things that I didn't get done today, I've already written down. I also want to make sure I get a walk in because I didn't walk enough today. Walk when it is not so hot out. Isn't it funny? 2 days ago, I got to share with you guys. My husband did a gig in Lancaster, PA on Sunday night. It was so chilly. I had multiple layers on, and the band wives next to me not only had their winter coats on, but they also had like fuzzy blankets on top of their laps as we sat there watching the band. Today, I'm wearing a t-shirt without a secondary layer, very unusual for me, and it actually was quite warm when I went out walking. 48 hours, man, what a difference. So I'm gonna say walk when not so hot. Oh, this was a cool thing too, and I wrote this down in my good good book. We saw a sign, a handwritten sign for a lemonade stand today, and so we followed when we went on our little walk around the park. We followed the handmade little lemonade stand signs and bought some lemonade from some girls that were set up a lemonade stand. I mean, totally, our town is like small townville. But I wrote that down as something to remember. Got lemonade from the girls. Saw my friend Van painting stuff in his garage. You know, yay, Judy Dukes. So wasn't I just talking about each day is going to feel different? It's going to feel it's every day is going to be different. Judy says yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Yesterday, everything seemed overwhelming around the house, so I didn't do anything. Notice the words you're using. When you say everything, you're not allowing yourself to chunk it down. You didn't do anything because you thought everything was overwhelming. And you know why? Because you had that feeling of overwhelm. But today, I looked around and then thought, chunk it down. And that felt better. Yay. You are noticing the difference, the powerful difference of everything and anything and nothing and all those big declaratory words, all or nothinging. You saw it all, you got overwhelmed, so you did nothing, right? Or you can look at it and just see that all is still made up of a bunch of little chunks. And I love that. Chunk it down and felt better. Write that note to yourself when you find yourself becoming overwhelmed. Say, wait a minute, that didn't work out that time. I ended up not doing anything. I'm just going to chunk it down and I'm going to do something about the clutter. I'm going to break the spell. It's almost like you put something on it and you notice that that one thing is made up of all these little blocks. So, yay for you living through the knowing what one feels and knowing how the other feels and which one feels better. Good stuff. Good stuff, friends. Good stuff. Oh, this is what I was going to share. I promised I would do this morning. One of the other things I did today was I donated our monthly total to the women's shelter, the decluttering party. When you buy your ticket, how half of it goes to the women's shelter. So as of last month, for May, we were able to donate $160 to the women's shelter. Isn't that cool? And then here's a great thing. So far, 5 month total, running total since January, because January we hit the ground running with a lot of people cleaning up from the holidays and stuff. $1,580, almost $1,600 has been raised and donated by you guys directly. If I could have put this is from Judy, and this is from Kara, and this is from Erin, and this is from Carla, it would have been a wicked long list or a shorter list with multiple names on it. But just think, when you are decluttering and showing up for a decluttering party, you are also helping somebody you don't even know, somebody that doesn't even have a home to clutter or clutter to clutter it up. They are homeless. All that they have is probably, what fits in a knapsack or something. Yeah, Judy, isn't that cool? And Judy, because you've been to some of these parties. Party Judy, party people are doing good stuff for themselves and for other people because that is how we do it. Okay. Isn't that cool? And I'm just really proud of y'all. I am. I'm psyched about it. Now I am the messenger. You give me the money, I take some for myself because I'm a business, but then 50% of it I donate, but I know it's not from me directly. It's from all of you all. It is a group effort. And notice the chunking down. The $10 here, the $20 here, the $10 for you. All those things. All of those. Think about it. I can't do the math, but okay, I think I can do this math. If it's $1,580, I feel like if it's $1,580 since the beginning of the year, that's about 158 party people. Isn't that really cool? And it's going to go up because we've already had a June party on Monday, and we have 10 more. So when you're like, oh, I can do it myself,
and then you don't, maybe you say, well, what if I put in 20 bucks for the party, knowing that the 110 is going directly to a woman who doesn't even have the problem I have of clutter. Be grateful for your clutter. Be grateful you have the opportunity, the Wi-Fi and the electricity to get help from it. Other people don't. Now, the neat thing is, yeah, excited for 10 more. I love that. Yep. Yep, I am too. Now, I will say that July is starting to look a little bit, the July schedule is going to be different. And because we extended our, oh, I'll have to add another thing here. We extended the Chicago trip by one more day. That's one more Monday that a decluttering party will not happen in August. So I offer this to you to say, much like not every day is going to be like, the way I schedule things is is organic. It is based on what is going on in my life. I fit those things around what's going on in my life because then I don't resent it, saying I can't go to that show because I promised somebody I'd do. I don't want to show up in that energy. So I put the things that are important to me on my calendar, and I make sure that when there's time, and I make time when it's available for the decluttering people. You guys. So awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. What else do we have going on? It's 8:36. 8:36. We get about 24 minutes. Let me think. Yeah. Reflecting back, looking in the rearview mirror of today, feeling pretty good about it. If I want to reflect back on the rearview mirror of this year, I don't have it in my head. No, no, no. But man, I have a book full of good stuff that I've written down. Are you writing your good stuff down in your travel journal through life? If you're not, why don't you start today? Yeah. And you know what? Judy says that's so neat. You get to travel so much. I agree. I agree. I am really lucky. But also, I will share with you when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with this season of my life, I knew that travel was important. And especially this year, I'm realizing I am older today than I was when you guys saw me this morning. I'm realizing that my travel life is going to be shorter than my human life on the planet. So I am trying to pick up the pace and do more travel while I am as young as I am today. So I am saying yes to opportunities. I'm making opportunities happen and really holding firm to those things that I denied myself decades before. Oh, I can't do that because of this, of work, and I can't, and I can't, and I can't. No. But yes, I do agree that I am so lucky to be able to have the flexibility and the resources with to do it. Here's a fun thing, though I will share with you, is I do a lot of this, not all of it, on credit card points and stuff like that. So I booked a hotel for Chicago with money, and then I said, "Wait a minute, I have points." So I canceled that one and got it for like Monopoly money. That's fun, isn't it? Oh, Judy Dukes is asking about the basement project. I am so happy to tell you. I would show you a picture, but it would not show the dramatic before and after difference. Even when I took the pictures, they finally put down like the decorative coat. The what do they call that? It's like an epoxy and it's got flecks in it. And it's black and white and gray. And so it covers, even though it covers a lot of visual flaws, even though they did a great job of smoothing it down. I am seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I knew it was going to be temporary, but I will admit to you that this week I was like, okay, now I know what cluttered people feel when they're frustrated with stuff that's all around. So it's looking good. It's drying right now. The guy's going to come back on Friday afternoon and test to see if it's dry to put the final coat on. If not, he's going to come back on Saturday and then, God willing, it's gonna be done. Now we're gonna keep it, we're gonna make sure it's dry so we don't get any, foot part things in it. And as we speak, I think my husband's talking to somebody who's gonna help him to paint the walls because now we have, I don't know if you guys, this is a phrase we use, like now we have a high tide line. Yes, Judy Dukes, yay is 100% because I want to get this stuff out of here. I'm going to take pictures, before and after pictures, because it's been getting to me. Um, we have a high tide line. That's what my mother would call it when like you would clean up one room and you're like, "Oh, this is so good," but suddenly it makes everything else look kind of crappy. The floor looks so good now that the walls
look awful. Like they looked awful anyway, but when the floor looked crappy and the walls looked crappy, now the floor looks great, but the walls look crappy. So it's one of those, it's going to be one of those domino effect things. But the neat thing is we will be able to enjoy that floor and those walls and putting stuff back in when we live here. The other thing that is a huge peace of mind that I will share with you guys is now we're not planning on moving anytime soon. We love our little house, we love our neighborhood. All the concentric circles are green lights. We are so happy where we are. But things may change at some point. And the neat thing is we started sooner rather than later with some of these big projects. I mean, we lived with a crappy floor for 20 years. And then it was like, wait a minute, because if we decide to move, we would have to do that project anyway for somebody else to even want to buy this house. So I offer to you to think about being able to enjoy your house while you live in it. What are some things? Play this game. Play the game. If what if I had to move from this house? And let's just play it like I was moving from this house to someplace different and better that was like a dream house. So the fun thing to play would be, what is that dream house? What would I want to move to? What would I like my neighborhood to be like, my friend group to be like, all of those things? Feel free to create that destination, but more so, play the game of if I had the opportunity to move to my dream house and move out of here, what are some things that I would need to do to get this house in sellable condition so that other people would want to pay good money for it? And just write that down. Because thinking about this is the thing that blew me away. When my sister when they sold the first house they lived in, she went wild and did all these things that had bugged her for years because they were selling it to new people. And she barely got to enjoy how good it looked. She did, waited and hemmed and hawed and didn't do the stuff. But then when they were moving into from a small cape to this bigger house that she had dreamed of and driven past, suddenly she had the motivation to do this. But I offer to you, please get your house ready so you can enjoy it. We spent the money a number of years ago putting in the central air because we knew. I mean, here's the funny thing. I am so used to living small and frugally that we didn't have a dishwasher. The kitchen was pretty much the same and not in a good way. Like it had many of the things that had evolved with it. It had no air conditioning, no dishwasher. We only have one full bathroom at all. And I thought, there are normies. Somebody called them normies the other day. Normal people, regular folk, not people who, can that would say, I'm not moving into a house that doesn't have a dishwasher. I'm not moving into a house that doesn't have air conditioning. It's going to be interesting that if somebody wants to buy a house with one full bathroom. So we decided for our own self, also because my husband was, hurting himself lifting these air conditioners into the windows. Let's do it now, sooner rather than later. And then enjoy the fruits of your labor. Enjoy the investment of money. Enjoy the fact that you get to have a cooler house in the summer, and summers are getting hotter. Summers are getting hotter. In New England, when I grew up, you could afford to maybe have one, like, window unit air conditioner, and you put it on occasionally. It is different now. So you can enjoy living in a house that also somebody else might want to buy from you versus waiting, you know? Now, I love it. Here, I got to move this over. I'm missing something. Kara says, my friend is a realtor and she says her house is open house ready. That was before she had a kid, though. Our kids are grown and out, and we are going to actually start to fix stuff in our mid-century modern. Imagine that. Yeah, imagine that. Now, here's a funny thing. You guys, I'm sure, have heard of Marie Kondo. So Marie Kondo was all about here's how you fold your underpants and your socks and all that. It was different when she had kids. So just take notice of the stage of your life. Maybe this is not the time to do it, or maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe now's the time to do it so all of y'all live in a more pleasant house. But, just know that this might be the season for you to get good stuff done. Yeah. And Jazzy Girl 24100 says, I grew up with no air conditioning and one bathroom for my mom and my brother and myself, and we survived. I love that. I love that. Trust me, we lived here for 10 years plus without a dishwasher. I joke that the dishwasher's right here. They're my hands. Without a dishwasher, with a couple of window units and a bunch of fans. And it was the life we were used to. But at a certain point, we said, wait a minute, this is a lot of work. And can we make this better for us and also make it an investment in the property so that normal people, regular folks, would want to buy it? And we love it. We have enjoyed doing that, you know? Uh huh. And I love it. See, this is great. Kara says when we bought this house 27 years ago, it was an extra $2,500 for central AC. We sold a Swan settee, which is a mid-century modern couch, to pay for it, but it was worth every penny. Yeah, and Jazzy Girl, I will agree with you. Marie Kondo, I think she has some good ideas. However, um, her approach did not resonate with me a lot. I am a good enough. I would not be there alphabetizing and color coding because I don't want to spend, I don't care. As long as my underpants are in that side of the drawer and they're clean, I don't care if they're folded into perfect things. I don't mind taking 2 seconds to dig out a t shirt versus taking minutes and folding. But you know what? To each their own. To each their own. She made a F ton of money being Marie Kondo and telling people all this stuff. I prefer a kinder, gentler, more laid back approach. If I know where stuff is in the like I am definitely not as anal retentive about a lot of that stuff. My husband may differ. My husband may say, "Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?" uh now I love that. Yay, Judy Dukes is using what she's learning here to help her sister. My sister is getting ready for her son to get married in her backyard. I've been over every night, and tonight I said, okay, I'm making a list, checking it twice. Decluttered is coming to town. I'm making a list of everything that needs to be done, and then we'll make daily ones. Yes, and what I would recommend, Judy, okay? And she says, thank you for your daily suggestions. I am learning things from you. Here's how this is another way. Making a list of everything can feel overwhelming. So I say this when you go in to your sister's environment, chunk it down. Take a notebook with you. Take a notebook for your list and then put a page and say kitchen, then bathroom, then backyard, then porch, then whatever. Chunk it down list wise so you don't have a list this long as I try to hide my flabby arms, right? They're right there. Um, the list is not like it was on toilet paper, but you've chunked it down and you've chunked it down by room. So it doesn't feel like there's so much to do and you feel that overwhelm and shutdown. Okay. So even the way you make a list might, there's better ways to do it to decrease the likelihood that you're going to feel overwhelmed. Okay. Um, the neat thing is, too, is it being your sister's house and her event, you may see things that you would do if it was your house, but if it's her house, you might have I would encourage you to be there and take notes for her. What does she want to do in this room? Now, if she's like, I don't even know, you can point things out, but um, writing these things down for her and then adding your ideas could definitely help. But yes, just a page per uh, room or area of the house. Um, that's what I would offer to anybody decluttering anywhere and making a list, checking it twice. Make one page. This is why I say get these notebooks, use them up, throw away the pages you don't use, you know, make it help you. Now, this is funny. Jazzy Girl 24100 says, I'm with you. My sister is incredibly OCD and I'm the opposite. I will share with you that even though I say I'm not as formatted and the inside of my drawers, most of them are not truly picture ready, but I can find what I need in an instant and put it away so it works for me. I say this as if I'm the Oscar Madison, and yet compared to my sister, who I am in touch with, I'm totally the Felix Unger in the relationship. First I go for the ones, and then the twos, and then the threes. No, you got to be bold. I'd rather be neat. Yeah. So it all depends, but it's what works for you. It's what works for you.
Um, I have a lot more training. When she got out of college, she worked in food service and waited tables and tended bar. I went into retail and it was home stuff retail, Pier One, Mikasa, Filene's. So I am so in the habit of fronting and facing and folding towels a certain way. It's just in me, and I like the look of it. So that is what works for me. But we're all a little bit different. We're all a little bit different. I'm sure that I could point out things in her house that would I would do something about, but she if it doesn't bug her, it's not her house. I bet she could point out things that bug her about my house. Maybe not, but maybe. So yay, Judy Dukes, for helping out your sister. Yay for people being able to live with fewer amenities than people are, you see on the internet that people are wanting in houses and feeling good about where you came from, feeling good about what you're doing. You're learning, you're growing, you're helping. I mean, doesn't that sound like stuff that Mr. Rogers would be psyched about? You're decluttering, you're taking care of people and things. Jazzy Girl loved Pier 1 imports. If you loved Pier 1 imports, here's a crazy thing. Pier 1 imports for the 21st century is what is it? Cost plus world market. I am telling you from an expert eye. Not only do they have papasan chairs, they even use the same exact shelving that we did. The brand name was called Lundia. I swear to God, I still have Lundia pins somewhere where you would move the shelves and things. It reminds me so much of Pier 1. Yeah. Uh-huh. Hudson's Bay just closed in Canada. Okay. You're lucky you're in Canada. Oh, you're lucky you're in Canada. But yeah, I worked at Pier 1 from, like, whatever, 80 something to 90 something, and then I worked for Mikasa, and then you know what? I mean, it was a thing. I've always liked to create order out of chaos, especially with stuff, not so much clothing. I never did clothing retail except for when Pier 1, and this is a deep cut, Pier 1 used to have a little clothing corner. First, it was called Gypsy, and then they changed it to Passports. Um, I have always liked that, I think because I grew up in such a cluttered, mismatched household, you know? Um, so Judy is saying, back to her sister, I did have her tell me and then wrote them in areas. And then her other family members were adding, even her husband. Plus, it was great to see what we've already checked off the list. Yes, seeing a list to check it off. I love it. I love it. So notice the things that we loved that are not here anymore. Yeah, Becky Ridgway has always been in clothing retail. I bet you can fold a t-shirt like nobody's business. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's not a department store. It's a freestanding. I'm sure you can Google it. It's called World Market. And they have like home goods, they have like decorative items, they have kitchen stuff, they have a lot of like imported foods and snacks and things. That's where I usually go to get my PG Tips tea because I like that. When I was on my big Biscoff kick during COVID and I couldn't travel, I would go there and get Biscoff cookies. Funny thing is, Jazzy Girl, if they have them in Canada, I bet they have, we have some Canadian imports. I think they have like maple candies with like, or not, I love maple candy. So good. Um, like maple cookies with maple cream in them. But I also get those when I go up to New England. So that's where I get those things. But yeah, here we are. It is, well, it's not August 2025. I'll change my calendar right now. It is getting to be, it's about 6 minutes of 9 on a Wednesday, the first Wednesday of June. This is the last first Wednesday of June 2025. And I hope you feel good as you go to bed. Do things to make you feel good, kind of like we did this morning. Do a scan from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. How are you feeling? To me, the scan lights up at my teeth because I need to brush and floss my teeth. So I'm going to do that before I go to bed. I'm going to wipe my face before I go to bed. I'm going to pee before I go to bed. I'm going to take off my bra before I go to bed. There's many things I'm going to do for my physical body to feel better and as I end the day. So how are you feeling physically? What can you do to feel even better? Okay? I love it. I'm from Quebec and you've got the best maple syrup. I love it. I love that flavor. It just reminds me of home. Um,
How are you feeling energetically? And at this point of the day, you're wanting to wind down your energy. So no more caffeine, take some drink some water, but also you can help calm down your brain and your nervous system by writing down. And yes, write down the things you have to do tomorrow, but before you go to bed, don't you think it would make you have sweeter dreams? Dreams as sweet as maple candy? If you wrote down the good things that happened today, the fact that the sun might have been out where you are, that it was warm, that you said hi to a neighbor, that you bought lemonade from a lemonade stand, even if you don't really like lemonade. You gave him the 5, even if it was only 3, and then my husband says, "Keep the change," so we feel we're, like, rich and we're delighting these little girls who are being little entrepreneurs. Well, don't you think that would get your brain a little bit recalibrated so you go to bed and have those sweet dreams? Instead of going to bed spinning on what you need to do, write down those things and leave it. Leave it in the other room. Don't even bring it into your bedroom, and then go and lay down in bed and just reflect on the good stuff and project some good stuff. What do you want to happen? Maybe not right now, but dream. Dream of flying to um, Los Angeles in a lie flat um, uh, airplane flight. Make that happen. Me, I want to do the lay flat seats to New Zealand and not just and Australia. Is that going to happen this year? Probably not. We're already pretty booked. Um, is it going to happen in my future? Yes. Yes. And notice, I'm not saying, well, maybe, I don't know, could be, not sure. When you say yes, your brain and the universe align to help you make it happen. Yeah. Yeah. And Jazzy Girl, I will share with you because we've got a few minutes now. Let me reach around here. Hold on. Oh, this is a practice I got into because I learned it from somebody during life coaching or coaching myself or whatever. This is my book of good stuff that I made happen and that happened that I noticed from July of 2020 to July of 2022. If I ever need to know, I can just look at all the good stuff that happened, the book of good stuff. Then January of 22, February of 2022 to July of 2024, same thing. Pages and pages, just and not like age. It's literally just a date and some bullet points, and a date and some bullet points. And then this is the one I'm working on now. And this one started, I assume, in August 1st, 2024. And and I wrote to myself in it, I bought this book at a cool stationery store in Barcelona, Spain in July of 2023 because I knew how much it has changed my life to accentuate the positive. It helps me eliminate the negative. And don't mess with Mr. In Between. Do not worry, I will not sing the whole song. But it really can reframe, it can really recalibrate your brain. I truly believe that the human brain is like the wheels in your car that are off, like when they are out of alignment and if you don't watch it, you're just veering to one side. That's how I think our brains are wired. They naturally veer towards the negative. That's so you can make sure you don't die and course correct, but we go too far. So even recalibrating and doing the good stuff is not getting into yippee skippy land. It's just getting you so you can drive straight more towards what you want. Yeah. So do you just judge stuff off as you think of it? Sometimes I do. What I do, I'll honestly show you my process. It's pretty simple. I have 2 books. I have my kind of my one of my daily. This is my daily map of my day from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. I chunk out the things that I've scheduled. I write down the stuff I want to get done, and I use this as a template to then remind me of what got done. And the good stuff that got done gets put in the book. Um, Sometimes I don't write it all down here, but I'll sit here and think back. What did I do? Oh, that's right. We went on a walk. Oh, and we saw the girls with the um lemonade stand. Had a 8:30 haircut with Phil. Had a call with my sister, had a call with my mother. Walked with my husband, lemonade stand, saw a van in his garage. Booked a hotel for Cliff's birthday and got free tickets to the show. emailed somebody to help clean up after all this stuff that's going on in the house. And I'm going to put a big asterisk right here on this one. And I'll say booked um, Albert tickets for Chicago. Notice I'll say that so much quicker than my brain can even write. So writing things down helps you slow down. Um, Ticks and Chicago. And I also keep track of all the good stuff I do destination declutter wise. So I will also say 8 p.m. YouTube live with all you awesome folks. If this was not fun, I would not do it. If this did not feel helpful, I would abandon it. This is something that has helped me so much. I've been doing it for coming up on 5 years, and it doesn't feel like effort. When I am 80 and I can no longer travel, I can relive what happened on Wednesday, May. Oh, this will be fun. Let me sign off with this because check this out. June of 2023. Okay. June, what day is today? June 4th of 2023. Let's see what happened. Sunday, June 4th, 2023. Took a morning walk. Saw Teresa from the boutique. I got an iced tea from Soltane. I saw Julie Thee, says thank you on the way home. I inadvertently mopped the floor. I did a TikTok live and got 400 new followers. Wow. Those were the days, my friend. Did somebody a testimonial? I sent a bunch of testimonials when I had clients there. I had a tomato sandwich. I put pins on my map for my friends who were going traveling. Yay. I texted some friends to see if they wanted to hang out the next day, and they said yes. Never underestimate documenting what a cool life you have. And if you think you don't have a cool life to document, start writing down the good stuff and make a cool life you want to document. And did you see were any of those? I won an Emmy, I bought a yacht, I made $1 million? No, I ate a tomato sandwich, and boy, was it good. Okay. If I can do that, so can you. All right. Now, tomorrow, remember, we have a TikTok live, a decluttering party, should you wish to join, and we have a YouTube live. It's very front loaded at the beginning of the day. And then I get patio furniture delivered, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day. I look forward to hanging out with you if it works out for you. And I will catch you on the flip side, as I've started to say, because why the heck not? All right. Have a good evening. Good night. Sleep tight and pleasant dreams to you. And I will see you in the morning. All righty. Bye-bye, everybody.